Yeah, disappointing outcome. Got off to a slow start. Thought we got a flow for the game. I thought we came out really good in the second half, and the scrum happened. I thought at a bad time for us. We had the lead. We're up one. Thought it was a manageable, play in transition, flagrant, and then everything else ensued, and then ran out of guys. Ran out of guys. They're a great defensive team, and tough outcome.
What can you say about Duncan's decision to hit Bryce, hard to bring?
Yeah, I didn't think it was. I think that there's absolutely a time to have hard fouls. There's a time to have hard fouls through a guy's arm. You never want to hit anyone in the head intentionally, obviously. I didn't think that was a time for a hard foul. As I watched it live, I thought he could have just ran harder and got in front of him and had a good legal possession. A good legal play, honestly. I thought if he ran hard, I thought he could have got in front of him and just guarded him. He actually blocked the ball clean, but then he came through his face after.
And how about Jalen and Mitchell?
I don't think Jalen Sellers should have been ejected from what I saw. He gave a push equal to a push that Osiah Sellers gave Duncan right away. Dylan Mitchell gave Jalen a cheap shot push in his back, but I'm not arguing with those guys. Those guys saw it. They made the call. As disappointing as it was, I thought it was a good crew for us tonight.
Kim, you went right out there after Jameer this foul. What did you?
Yeah, Jameer's been pushing people all year. On offense, on defense, he's been using two hands to push, and just keep coaching it and let them know it's not a basketball play. You never want to hit someone, just like football. You don't block in the back. You don't push anyone. You don't touch anyone in their back in basketball. So disappointed. He's young. It's he didn't practice for a week about now. I thought he was tired, gas, and fatigue. In a already young player, usually doesn't bring out the best outcomes.
How much is just what happened just peeled away at the depth, not having Corey and Jason to begin with?
Jack Williams, he played some, got nailed 20 minutes. But I know, Corey would have loved to have been out there. I thought he's a warrior. He played through pain at Seton Hall. We need it. We need all the guys we can get.
Is it concussion still for him?
No, it was he hurt his hamstring against Seton Hall.
The foul by Duncan, what led into that?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I thought he had again, there's a time to foul hard. There's a time to foul a poor free throw shooter hard, but that's fouling to not let them get the ball above their head, fouling their arms. It's a good, clean basketball play, a good, hard foul. You don't want to give up and ones. I thought that he had plenty of opportunity to get in front of him and just play him straight up.
What led you guys to get back in the game? I think you were down, a dozen early?
Yeah, they played three big men. They played three bigs. Bryce, Dylan Mitchell, and Zuby. They played three bigs. So we really felt like we could clog the paint up and make them beat us from the perimeter, and we did. I actually hated that Dylan Mitchell got ejected. I actually wanted him out there because I thought it would help our defensive spacing. Without him, they got to put some more shooters out there, which opened the court up a bit. But, their defense is elite. On-ball defense is elite. We tried to pick on, Sellers, I think, with some matchup hunting and just driving them. They were physical. It was hard to get fluid offense against their stifling defense. So we ended up playing in transition, made some poor transition decisions in the second half. We had Jameer for a lob. We went to a three. Had Jalen missed the dunk, which led to a basket. I thought we kind of had the game in a good place. We were up one. I feel like it was 39-40, maybe 41-40, something like that.
Kim, do you think that the environment that the crowd created contributed to the fracas in the second half?
Possibly. I don't know. I'm not inside the players' minds. I know it was an emotionally charged crowd, possibly.
Do Do you like when a crowd is like that, or?
No, I don't like when anyone is talking about F you. I don't like that. I don't. I don't think our college president, our board would like that. Christian college. We have a great home court. I think it's still great if we did without that.
What about the reception for Bryce? Is it the same thing?
I don't know. I didn't really pay much attention to it, honestly.
But when people come in like that, who played here, and get a hostile reception, is that?
It's basketball. It's college basketball. Every single player is an unrestricted free agent. It's going to happen. It's going to happen again. I have no emotion or care about that. I don't think you should say F you to anyone. I think it's disrespectful, but he made a decision. He and his family did, and
Kim, as you understand it, the penalties that were given out today for participating in that or leaving the bench or whatever it was, do any of them extend beyond just today?
Yeah, we'll see. The league will decide. The league will decide. If anything was deemed a fight, then yes. If you deemed a fight, someone will miss another game.
Did you and Bryce have a little moment after the free throw that was shot?
No. He said what's up during the game. I said what's up. That was it. Yeah.
Coach, 3 players combining for 13 for 46 between Stephon Box, Jalen Sellers, and Jameer Jones. 3-point percentage was as it was through 5 of 23. When the shots aren't falling, quite frankly, aside from free throws, what's the sort of offensive game plan for this?
Play fast in transition to touch the paint. And if no one stops you, lay it up. If someone does stop you, spray it. If you have advantage, 5-on-4, 4-on-3, 3-on-2, 2-on-1. That's basketball. And in the half court, how can you create advantage? How can you get 2 on the ball and pass to the open man? If you're open, shoot it. If you're not, pass it. When you pass it, cut. So yeah.
What do you think of Terrace out there?
I thought he had some good minutes. Thought he had a couple of unfortunate plays. Missed a dump off, a couple, but I thought he had played some pretty good defense through stretches.
Kim, I would imagine you anticipated what the environment would be like today. I wonder, pregame, you want your guys to feed off that, obviously, and play hard. How do you balance, or was there any instruction to them before the game about feeding off the environment and balancing that with maybe going over the edge?
We played in hostile environments, before. It was a hostile environment at St. John's earlier. We've played very hostile environments since we've been here. Every environment here is hostile and emotionally charged. You want to play hard, play the right way, and compete. I didn't think we competed early. I thought we competed as the game went on.
Kim, how do you sort of keep the locker room together and you guys motivated going down this last stretch here in the East tournament?
Yeah, get guys available who we can have available. Our guys haven't let go of the rope at all. Xavier beat us. I feel like Villanova beat us at Nova. I'll give these guys, they beat us tonight. Every other game, we've been right there. And our guys, the guys that play will play, and they're going to give all they can, all they have.
Does this week off come at a good time?
Yeah, I think so. Hopefully get some guys healthy. Vox, hasn't missed much. Oswin, Jalen Sellers hasn't missed anything. Get those guys some rest. Mila, Jameer, get those guys healthy, coming back off of illnesses. And then, DePaul with a great win against Creighton. I don't know who they play this week. I'll see. But a tough team. Tough team in Chicago next weekend.
Did you get an explanation for why Jalen Sellers was ejected?
No. I just trusted what they saw. Assume he touched someone.
What happened pregame with Jason Edwards? It looked like he was progressing and maybe had a chance to go.
Yeah, he said 7 minutes for the game, he said he didn't feel good. Said his foot hurt.
Shoot around, he was okay?
We don't have shoot around on early morning games. He practiced well yesterday, he warmed up. He complained about some pain last night to our trainer. went through warm-ups, and then ultimately didn't feel like he could go.
Any more questions?
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.